Super chat to start things off from Zeno saying, thank you very much, my friend. If we lose Dak, what was the point in cutting Romo? I get where you're coming from. It does make sense. I approach it from this way, actually. If you lose Dak, why are you trying to win next year? If you lose Dak because you don't tag him, which they're going to tag him at worst, you're not going to win as much next year. You're going to be rebuilding, and you've locked in a good portion of your core. At that point, it's very strange there. You went with Dak because Romo couldn't stay healthy. He was younger, cheaper, and he was your long-term guy. And Gastoni couldn't stay healthy. So from that perspective, I get it, but I don't think you don't want to lose Dak because you cut Romo. You don't want to lose Dak because he's your best option by a significant margin right now at quarterback. All right, Matt S. Randy Gregory, what's the chances of him coming back? Guys, I don't know anything about Randy. I will tell you the second I find out. It was very strange. The buzz was Gregory had applied for reinstatement. Reports said he had applied, and all of a sudden, he didn't. That's the strange part. And he's been radio silent. So in reality, something happened. That's what happened. Something went wrong for Randy. I hope he's okay, but you don't assume anything with Randy coming back. You just treat him as icing on the cake. If he does, you have to operate like he's not going to be there. Dallas Made 19. What are we doing with Trysten Hill? New staff uses him, or is he a draft bust and they release him? Let me double check his contract, because I'm pretty sure you kind of can't cut him right now. But the new staff will give Trysten Hill a chance. That's the approach they're going to take. Hill did not play great, but he's still very young, a very young player, so you're not going to operate like, oh, he sucks, and he's never going to be any good. You try and develop him. And very, very rarely do you see NFL teams move on from a top 70 pick after 1 year. That is extremely rare. And Trysten Hill, by the way, if you were to cut him, damn contract pulled up here. If you were to cut Trysten Hill, you actually lose money. So you're gonna keep Trysten Hill. It would cost you $750,000 to cut him. That's not a route you're gonna go this offseason. Now let me help you guys here too, by the way. All right? Do not get caught without a Valentine's Day gift for your wife, or your girlfriend, or your mother. Head over to chatsports.com/flowers. Chatsports.com/flowers. That will save you 15% off flowers and gifts. Do it right now. That way it's out of the way and you're set. You don't have to worry about it. And you don't have to get the rush shipping either. Do it right now. It'll save you time, money, and hassle with that link right there. Chatsports.com/flowers. Check the description. Check the comments. I've got the link in there for you guys. All right, Alan Crump. With Tyron Smith's injury history, is it time to look at drafting an eventual replacement? It is very fair and reasonable and even correct to be worried a bit about Tyron Smith's injury history. But you also have to approach it as you've got needs at defensive tackle, edge rusher, cornerback, safety, probably tight end, possibly receiver as well. Those are a lot of needs that take priority over a player that ideally doesn't get on the field for you at all the next 3 years. So I am down to look. I was pleasantly surprised, by the way, by Brandon Knight, but I'm not going to spend an early pick on Tyron Smith. He invested a lot on the offensive line. If Smith were to miss a lot of times, maybe even consider just moving Connor Williams over there to left tackle, inserting Connor McGovern at left guard. All right, Tetrell, Devante Adams or Amari Cooper? I'm going to take Devante Adams there. No disrespect to Amari, but I love Devante Adams. He's an incredible receiver, and he doesn't disappear the same way that Amari has had a tendency to do. David Parks, if both are there at 17, McKinney or Delpit? I have not yet finished my evaluation on Xavier McKinney or Grant Delpit. I will not finish it until the end of the combine and pre-draft process on that front there. They're different players, though. Grant Delpit, a little bit more of a high upside guy. Like, if you were to ask me, hey, Tom, which safety ends up being an all-pro? I'd probably say Delpit. If you ask me, hey, Tom, which safety ends up being a bust? I'd also probably say Delpit. There's a little bit more variance there. McKinney's more of a safe safety, if you will. So let me know who you guys want. I would probably lean toward Delpit, but there is a strong argument for Xavier McKinney as well. So type G for Grant Delpit or X for Xavier McKinney. Yes, folks, I am allowing you guys to throw up the X one more time here on the Cowboys Report. G or X. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I still lean a little bit more towards G. All right, Winston, Harrison, Graham, Shan. Did the Cowboys tank just so they can get Jamal Adams easily? It went from 25 to 17. No. Because your head coach in charge of tanking got fired. So no, I can assure you the Cowboys did not tank. They wanted to make the playoffs. The coaching staff and the players just did not deliver when it mattered, and there's a reason the coaching staff is all out. Most of it is out. All right, Mike Fernandez, what do you think about keeping Lee since there isn't clear reports on LVE's injury or how severe it is or isn't? Well, I want to keep Shawn Lee regardless. I think he's a great number 3 linebacker when healthy, great presence in the locker room, great leader, great just football mind. As for LVE, look, the Cowboys keep saying that it is a minor neck surgery. I don't know if this thing is a minor neck surgery, but that's where we're at. The hope is he's going to be fine. But yeah, I certainly have some concerns about losing to injury long-term LVE. So that's an area that I am certainly going to be concerned about. But for now, operate under this assumption that he's back next year and back at his full form. You have to, beyond Shawn Lee and maybe some other depth guys, you're not spending an early-round pick on linebacker. All right, folks, shout out your area code for me. My phone still says 513 because I am originally from the Cincinnati area. So it still says 513 for me. Let me know where you guys are from. Bonus points to the first person who puts down their zip code as opposed to their area code because we always get those mixed up. I see 215-801-318. Keep those coming, folks. Shout out your area code here on the Cowboys Report. All right, next up from Troy Daniels, how many of our picks do you see Dallas spending on defense, or will they pursue more in free agency rather than the draft? It's a good question. I would say over half your picks are spent on defense. Just because from a need perspective, offense, maybe a backup quarterback or a backup tackle, maybe receiver, and maybe tight end. Defensively, though, looking at multiple defensive linemen, probably an edge, maybe a linebacker depth piece, corner, and safety. So more likely, defense will be where the majority of your picks are spent. All right, Leroy Pearson Jr. Could restructuring Martin, Collins, Frederick, and Lawrence free up enough money to maintain some kind of depth on the team? So you certainly can restructure, and I think you will see those players at some level get restructured. I'm looking at the cap, like DeMarcus Lawrence, a prime restructure candidate to get his cap hit down. Zach Martin's not that bad. Frederick's not that bad either, so you might just keep those guys. Like, I mean, I can see DeMarcus Lawrence getting his base salary made into a signing bonus, and then all of a sudden you're looking at more. You save like $4-5 million this year on that deal. That makes sense. But those deals have been redone before. You can still keep depth, by the way. Like, this is not entering some kind of salary cap hell. Like, that is overblown as long as you don't have a bunch of bad, dead money. The Cowboys are in pretty good shape on that front. All right, Evan Hildering. What about drafting Darnay Holmes from UCLA? I like the player. The upside's there. I watched him at the Senior Bowl leading up to it. Some before that, so kind of a boomer bust player. But I think he's more of a slot guy. And I already have one of those in Jordan Lewis. Speaking of the draft, by the way, folks, if you live in the Vegas area, you have business in the Vegas area, or you know people who have one, and you want to be involved in the Cowboys Report draft coverage while in Vegas, hit me up on Twitter, especially you business guys. Hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney to slide into my DMs. They're open for this exact scenario. So if you have a business out in Vegas, you want to be involved in our draft coverage, hit me up on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. Eric Savary, What are the realistic odds of getting Chris Jones? Harrison, percent that the Chiefs lose Chris Jones in free agency. He says 20% that he walks, so I will go 5%, maybe up to 10% for the Dallas Cowboys. A, I doubt the Chiefs let him leave because he's really good at football. B, if he does leave, he is going to get all of the money. The Cowboys are not a team that wants to be involved in a bidding war this offseason. So I love Chris Jones. I'd love to get him, but you're going to have to pay him at minimum $17 million a year, probably more, like 18, 19. I think he usurps the Fletcher Cox contract. Heck, 20 is not that outlandish if a team gets reckless with it. At that point, that's kind of out of the price range and out of the market for the Dallas Cowboys. So I'd love to get him, but I am not going to allow myself to get my hopes up there for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, next up here, Mike Fernandez. Do you see Michael Bennett coming back? If so, do you think he made an impact on our D-line? We're talking about how to jump off sides too much. Bennett played well. He's always been a good player these past couple of years in the NFL. I don't think he's back. I think he's going to go and either retire or go be a mercenary for another one-year team. I would explore it, but the Cowboys allowed Michael Bennett to get out of his deal at the end of this year. I would venture to say there's a pretty good chance that he chooses to go play somewhere else, maybe back even with Philadelphia or Seattle or somewhere. I'm down to explore it. I don't know how much he fits in the Mike Nolan scheme, but I would venture to say that Michael Bennett is not back with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, I thought he was fine. He was a nice piece for you, but he's probably a little bit more expensive than you really want to go if you're the Cowboys. You mentioned Chris Jones not that long ago. So who are you guys cheering for in Super Bowl 54? Let me know in the comments. I know it's not great options. Chiefs and 49ers, not the yay, go Cowboys options in terms of other NFL teams. But let me know. KC for the Chiefs, SF for the 49ers. And if you want to bet on this game, you can do it on BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. It's all Chiefs coming over. I see like 80-90% KC votes. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code there is Cowboys120. That gets you a 120% deposit bonus. It's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys120. All right, JB97. Will the Cowboys be an offensive or defensive team next year? Probably offensive based on this past season. It's funny, end of the year, I was worried about the offense. Like, hey, can they take the next step forward? Can they be better? They were way better this year on offense, regardless of whatever wins you want to try and point to. The team was only 8-8 because of the defense, not the offense. If we don't accept that, I don't really know what we're focused in on there. So I think offense, especially in 2020, most teams are offensive teams that do well in the NFL. All right, Robert Clark. What would it take to trade up in the draft and get a shot at Derek Brown? Failing that, is Kinlaw a realistic trade or a target at 17? I think to answer the Kinlaw part, yes, he is realistic. Now, as for Derek Brown, if you were to package together your first-round pick and your second-round pick, that's number 17 overall, and your mid-second-round pick, which comes in at, let me double-check, 51 overall. That would put you, in terms of moving up, that gets you around pick 8. That would get you into the top 10, in theory. That might be enough to get you to Derek Brown. You would jump the Jags, you could take him. So the question is, do you want to give up a first and a second-round pick for Derek Brown? I love him. Not sure I want to do that. All right, Alex Valages, what's the Jamal Adams is the Jamal Adams wants to play with Dez rumor about, and is it true? Dez has been tweeting out that he wants to get back in the NFL, which I'm glad he's got his headspace right. And Adams did say he wants to play with him. It's true. It also doesn't really mean anything. Like, you never ever see players on Twitter quote a guy and say, yeah, I don't want to play with you. It's always like, yeah, I get it, bud, or yeah, I'm cheering for you. Like, nothing about that is that Jamal Adams wants to be traded to the Cowboys so they can sign Dez, or is asking the Jets to sign Dez Bryant. Like, Adams and Dez are friends. They want to play together. It's not going to impact anything for either side in terms of trade or signing. Now, looking into 2020, I want you guys in the comments to predict the Cowboys' record. Let me know what it will be. As I've said before, the offseason moves will have a big factor there. The Cowboys, though, if they keep a similar core talent-wise, should be a positive regression candidate. They lost a bunch of close games, and they had a great point differential. I think 11-5 is very much in the range of outcomes for the Dallas Cowboys in 2020. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.